Hello everyone and welcome back to A Bit Tactical, where today I'm going to be doing the Firefight Ploys for Scout Squad. Now, with all these videos, there's going to be a rules read section at the end of the video for those who just want to know how this stuff works. However, I like to get right into the guide portion so you can actually start using these strategies as soon as possible. And with all that being said, let's just get right into it. The great thing about these ploys is that they are not that complicated to understand. Like, for example, your Astartes Training allowing you to shoot twice so long as one of them is a pistol, a bolter, or an Astartes shotgun. The offensive play is really simple, especially with the options given to you as Scout Squad, right? If you have somebody in the strategy phase that you pushed up to the center of the board, and then you win initiative and you see two targets that can be very close to you, give them a third APL, push them forward with the reposition, get into those ranges, and then shoot somebody twice. Get a double kill potentially. That's very cool. That's very obvious. However, after several games and trying more and more, letting the board progress, letting your opponent activate and pass and all that, do all their things, and seeing where the board's at, I think that it's a much more viable strategy because it allows you to react effectively to certain situations. There are several times where I could have used the Firefight ploy earlier on, but I waited a second, let some activations come, and I saw like an amazing moment come up for me, right? I did it against the Blades of Cain, Nemesis Claw, Hand of the Archon, Battle Clade. There's a lot of teams where they get aggressive with you, they come up in your face, and you just wait, you're patient, and you get nice double kills. Recently, I got one with my sniper where I used my sniper profile. I switched to engage so I could get the rerolls just in case. Got a nasty kill against one of the Banshees from the Blades of Cain. Then I shot down at somebody that also had charged previously with my bolt pistol, and I got a nice double kill, and I was actually game changing because now that entire side of the board was clear and I had almost no threats on my side of the board. But that also puts your heavy gunners within the double shoot range, right? Again, 3-4 hitting on threes pistol with ceaseless, that's not bad, right? I've had situations against the Nemesis Claw where they have come up, killed my warrior, they're on my home objective, my heavy bolter's right there, I shoot with the heavy bolter, do like 10, 12 damage, shoot them with my pistol, finish them off and kill them. It feels very nice to do that, especially against the Nemesis Claw. But yeah, I think just consider letting the board progress and be a little defensive with this Firefight ploy. Raw Physiology allows you to ignore injury for one of your operatives, which is going to be crucial because you don't have any healing options available to you as the Scout Squad. So you do have those 10 wounds, and you do have a 4-up save, so that's all right. And you do have Camo Cloak, which can come in clutch with against certain teams. But you are decently squishy, and you're going to be injured a lot. There have been many. I'm trying to think of how many games I didn't go into Turning Point 3 with 3 or 4 models being injured. It almost always happens. Either they're injured or they're dead by Turning Point 3. And injured is probably better. Not probably, it definitely is better. So having this ploy is really good. And then one of my favorites, which is being able to turn a crit into, or a normal hit into a crit with Emboldened Aspirant. So with a sniper, this can pair up really well, and this is, again, why I like to let the game progress a little bit. Let your opponent make some activations. Let them do stuff. Play in a way that you don't have to worry about them winning initiative so that you can plan accordingly and let them come to you or waste time doing whatever so that you can get that really nice critical shot, right? With your sniper and this ploy, it feels really nice to basically say, oh, I already rolled a crit, maybe 2 crits. I've had that happen before. But now I'm going to actually change my last hit, or my other hit right here. I'm going to change that into a crit as well, so I'm doing 9 damage, and you're just dead. You don't even have to roll defense die. That feels, well, it might not feel good for the opponent, but, I mean, it feels good to do that. Your heavy bolter is also something that you want to consider using. Again, you have to be a little bit strategic with your shooting attacks so that you can make sure that the proper people get it, right? I personally like to only use one strategy ploy during the second turning point so that if I don't have initiative, I have 6 CP to work with, then I have 5 CP going into the turning point 2 and then turning point 3, right? if I don't use any Firefight ploys. So I can feel good. Just, my heavy bolter's doing this. He's met all the requirements in order to use this ploy. I'm going to go ahead and use it just so I can guarantee that I get piercing crits 1. So it's piercing 1 so that my opponent has a less of a chance to survive. Basically what I'm saying is this. The scouts, again, against certain teams can be very aggressive. But against most teams, I genuinely do think they have to be in a defensive... They can be in a spread out defensive pattern, right? They can definitely be spread out. They can cover the whole map, and they can do that effectively. But let the board progress just a little bit. And I feel like you're gonna really see the results of that. Of like, okay, now I have an opportunity to use this Firefight ploy. Now I have an opportunity for double shoot. It would have been even better than potentially just getting a kill. Now, since everybody's here, after I did that double shoot, I didn't kill anybody, but I did a bunch of damage, and now it's easier for me to kill everybody else. Or with the rest of my teammates, I'm able to kill these models easier. And we don't really talk about Covert Position, not because it's necessarily bad. There have been times where I've used it. However, it's just not too crazy, right? Like on Volcus, for example, when you're going up to a light terrain, most of the times, especially on the new maps, the light terrain isn't in a too useful position. Sometimes it is. It's like right next to an objective marker. But, like, I don't know how to explain this. Most people are able to get to the center line pretty easily by turning point 2. They're going to be able, if they want to kill your model, they're more than likely going to be in a position where they're able to trade effectively, or they're going to mitigate the damage that's going to be taken by shooting that guy, right? Again, there have been situations where this has been helpful. 100% absolutely. Especially on Volcus, getting into light terrain, they can't shoot through Vantage, all that stuff. Great. However, most of the time you're not going to be using this. Not saying it's a bad ploy. Just saying, most of the time, you're not going to be using it. Don't try to force it either. It would just be a waste of CP, and you're going to feel real bad about doing that. Just, if you see the opportunity, keep it in the back of your mind. If you see the opportunity, take it. All right, everybody, that's it for the guide portion of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And I like you better than the rules read people, because they're just cringe. They read. I can't even imagine doing that. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. All right, let's start out with Astartes Training. Use this Firefight ploy during a friendly scout squad's operative's activation. Until the end of that activation, that operative can either perform 2 fight actions or 2 shoot actions if an Astartes shotgun, bolt pistol, or bolt gun is selected for at least one of them. Just notice, missile launcher, sniper rifle, heavy bolt gunner, all of these things are excluded from this, so you cannot use them with it. Next up is Raw Physiology. Use this Firefight ploy during a friendly Scout Squad operative's activation before or after it performs an action. Until the start of its next activation, you can ignore any changes to that operative's stats from being injured, including its weapon stats. Then, of course, we have Emboldened Aspirant. Use this Firefight ploy when a friendly Scout Squad operative performs the shoot or fight action after any rerolls. If it's the first friendly operative to perform either of those actions during this turning point, or if the enemy operative in that action, primary target, if relevant, has a higher wound stat than that friendly Scout Squad operative, you can retain one of your normal successes as a criticals instead. And then we have Covert Position. Use this Firefight ploy during a friendly Scout Squad operative's activation. Until the start of its next activation, while that operative has a conceal order and is in cover, it cannot be selected as a valid target, taking precedence over all other rules, e.g. seek, vantage terrain, except being within 2 inches. So essentially, no matter what, unless they are within 2 inches of you or they completely bypass your cover line, you are not a valid target. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And don't forget, rules read people. I love you more than I like the guide people. The guide people annoy me. There's so much work. I have to do so much editing for them, bro. But with you guys, you guys are just easy. Amazing. I love you. And don't forget to keep watching. Bye.